Good afternoon, Wrestling Inc. Get up, get going. It's me, your managing editor of WrestlingInc.com, Nick Hausman, joined here as I am every Tuesday to get all tied up in the pro wrestling news of the day. It's time for your Tuesday takeover. It's our good friend, Issa. Issa, welcome back to the Wrestling Inc. Daily.
Hi, Nick. Happy to be here to talk some wrestling with you.
Yeah, we got a lot to get into here. Of course, last night was Monday Night Raw. We got new matches for Hell in a Cell. We're going to talk about those in the mailbag. But the chat room is open here today. Jump in wherever you're at. Comment along with the show. Let us know what you think of the stories we're talking about here. Bruce Barrett, he got the conversation here saying, what's up, everybody? Anybody got opinions on Johnny Gargano being on Sammy's vlog? Any opinions on Johnny Gargano being on Sammy's vlog?
I haven't watched it yet. I saw him in the thumbnail, and I thought that was a pretty genius move by Sammy Guevara. But I gotta go and check it out. So I can't comment unless I see exactly the context of the blog. You know?
Sure. Yeah, it's just a little back and forth, right? You know, Johnny kind of laying down the gauntlet, saying maybe I need to get somebody else here. Maybe, you know, teasing that Candice LeRae needs to be by his side. By 1 second, my microphone's messing up here real quick. I don't know what's going on. 1 second.
We apologize for the technical difficulties. And this is not Wrestling Inc. After Dark, people. It's still only 5 p.m. You're muted.
Oh, okay. Can you hear me? Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. You.
Oh, wow. I don't know what just happened there. I feel bad about that. Huge technical difficulties today. Am I softer? Do I sound real soft to you, Issa?
You sound good now. Yeah.
I sound fine? Okay.
Yeah.
That's so weird. I am having the weirdest tech issues here right now. Whatever. We're going to roll with it. The show's fine, right? It's fine.
I can hear you fine. Let us know in the chat if you have any issues with our sound.
Okay, everybody is letting me know that I'm fine and you can hear me, and I'm in the comment section. Okay, fine. We'll move forward then. So like I said, we'll have the mailbag at the end of the show. We'll talk about these new Hell in a Cell matches that have been announced and other Hell in a Cell matches we knew were coming down the pike. But also, let's see, we got news. Everybody's in the comment section. We were talking about Johnny Gargano. Man, A. O'Donnell here, 025, saying it's happy hour time. I'm feeling like it right now. This is Nick needs a beer o'clock is what's going on.
Yeah. It sounds like you're getting flustered over there, and there's no better way to deal with that than with a nice cold beverage.
I would love a beer right now. Anyway, am I okay, Nick? Dorothy is asking. No, my audio's weird. I don't know what's going on.
Nick is having a mental breakdown live on the Wrestling Inc. Daily.
Time for news you can use. News that will leave a bruise. Let's talk about WWE Raw that was last night prior to the Nikki Ash versus Alexa Bliss match that went down. Corey Graves stated on commentary that Banks and Naomi, quote, disappointed the WWE universe by staging a walkout from the company. He also blamed Banks and Naomi for costing Nikki and Doudrop a shot at becoming the number one contender to Bianca Belair's Raw Women's Championship. The burial continues, Issa.
Why would they cost them that? They could have just made the match a fatal four-way. They're the one who went on with the decision to just make it a one-on-one match. They could have just made it a fatal four-way. Also, you made it clear on Friday, we do not need this to be brought up every single time. Like it's just getting old, and it's just making WWE look petty and very, to quote their own words, unprofessional.
I don't know, Issa. I don't know. I think they're definitely trying to prove a point hard right now. I don't know what kind of exact signal they're trying to send to the locker room, but they're trying to send some kind of signal. I'm definitely trying to show, don't do this if you're anybody else. We're going to rub it in your face if you act this way, you know?
Yeah, and I get that. I think there's policies in every job, there's consequences, but just keep your dirty laundry behind closed door, not on national television.
Yeah, and you were right. Like, why didn't they just make it a fatal four-way, right? You know, they could have just taken those two out of the match, like WWE piling on here, blaming Nikki and Doudrop. Maybe a little step too far. Doesn't really seem to make any sense.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense that they cost them that. You made the complete change on the match. You know what I mean? So that part, I don't believe. Like now you're just completely changing the narrative that you're trying to tell.
Yeah. Well, also on Raw last night, Riddle started the show saying that he's not sure about the future of RK Bro, and he noted that Randy has been dealing with a bad back for the last 2 years, and I guess that's why they were not successful in unifying the tag team titles. The crowd was really into this. Definitely felt like they're putting a pause on RK Bro here for a moment.
First of all, they weren't successful because Roman smashed them. But I will say, I actually really loved this promo from Matt Riddle. The entire time, he was so sympathetic, which just like, what a great baby face. And he kept selling how heartbroken he is over this throughout the entire performance until the segment match ended. In his facial expressions, you could just see heartbreak. I was very impressed by his performance last night, and whatever Randy's dealing with, I hope he feels better soon because I don't want this to be the end of RK Bro quite yet.
Yeah, well, maybe it will, maybe it won't be. Oh, and awesome fix something wrong with was but yeah, no, I thought it was Matt Riddle's best promo ever. It was a very big moment. He felt like a big star, felt like he had kind of stepped out of Randy's shadow for the first time. And like what I dig about this is it definitely leaves the door open for Matt Riddle to be the one to go up against Roman Reigns, coming out of Hell in a Cell at the very least, right? But at the same time, Randy Orton, people are going to miss him while he's away. When he comes back, it's going to be more impactful. And I think it's just going to be a really great SummerSlam opponent for Roman.
I agree. I know there's rumors out there of who the next big three are for Roman Reigns, being that order Riddle, Randy, and possibly Drew McIntyre. I love the idea of Riddle just building his character in order to go up against Roman. We saw the beating that Roman gave him on Friday. It would make perfect sense. You know, they might have taken out his best friend. So I think Riddle, if this is the start of his program with Roman Reigns, they're doing it very well because you made Roman look like the biggest heel Friday night, and now you managed to make Riddle the biggest baby face as well on Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I agree. I really like how I'm really a big fan of the fact that the Usos now have all the actual team representing the tag divisions on Raw and SmackDown. What a new concept. I love that. I just kind of love where everything landed here, you know?
Yeah, me too. Me too. I think this is they're doing a good job with this. They're lacking in the tag team division. So to me, this title unification makes a lot more sense than the WWE Championship and Universal Championship. I like the idea of the tag teams being unified and represented on both shows.
I agree. A lot to like right now with I think and you know that was one of the things. You know, I thought
I think your audio is cutting out a little bit, by the way.
Yeah, no, let me know. Like something is definitely wrong with my birthday. I don't know. I'm sorry about this, everybody.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out. But while you cut in and out, I will go ahead and mention that I absolutely appreciated seeing Sami Zayn pair up with the Usos, you know, as part of the bloodline. His childhood dreams are becoming true.
Yes, I agree. I think Sami Zayn is great. I'm sorry if there was a loud. What's going on right now with my microphone here? I don't think I could do anything differently, honestly, in this moment. It's fine right now.
Yeah.
I know it's fine right now.
now.
Right now, it's fine. Yeah. We're in the lane, but you know, anyway. All right. Well, we'll try to get through this the best we can without my microphone going completely cattywampus. So I'll move on here real quick to point out that Robert Roode, he brought back his old glorious gimmick and theme music at Saturday night's main event this past Saturday at Canton City Center in Canton, Ohio. Very excited about this. Who didn't love the glorious thing? Robert Roode and the Dirty Dog's been all right, but way better repackaged as glorious.
Oh yeah, I have been having a campaign every time I see him on TV. I always tweet, make Bobby Roode glorious again. So, you know, I'm a big fan of the glorious gimmick. When they did it in NXT, it just felt like he feels like such a star with that gimmick. I'm still like, I don't understand why they took that away from him. So I will be very excited to see him come back with that.
Hey, is this better? Can you hear me cleanly right now in this microphone?
I can.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm going to use this microphone. I just completely unplugged the old microphone. I'm using this. Is this good? Or what we're doing, is it good podcasting? I don't feel like this has been our best podcasting here today, Ethan. I feel like I'm completely 100% responsible for that.
It's okay, Nick. I've had my technical difficulties myself in the past, so you get a pass. You get a
All right.
pass.
I've been pretty good for a long time. Ricky here saying better. Thank you, Ricky. Yeah, Robert Roode, big fan. Love Glorious. Let's talk about this report here from the Sports Gamers, and by Esteban here saying I look like the wedding singer. For those that can't see me right now, I'm using one of my field mics. It's like a handheld mic that I just plugged into the board. I never ever use it in this circumstance, but it was just sitting over my shoulder and was easily accessible. So I do with the button down here. I do look a little Adam Sandler-y wedding singer. I'm gonna take
You actually really do. That comment popped me.
okay. So let me know if my audio screws up. We'll do our best to get through the show here. We're off the rails. So Sports Gamers Online reporting that WWE was in talks with Take-Two Interactive, which is the parent company for the 2K series developer Visual Concepts, to bring the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, into the game as downloadable content after he returned. Since the company knew Rhodes would be coming back in February, they wanted to get him back in time to do a special DLC package for the character after WrestleMania. The report cites, quote, a person close to the developmental team who claimed that WWE tried it but was quickly shot down. The report also stated that given all the detail that goes into creating the characters, there simply wasn't enough time to add Rhodes to the game, especially since the game's entrance announcements are performed by Greg Hamilton, who has already been released by the company. Well, is it that you maybe you should keep that guy around,
Yeah, it's a smart business decision. It's going to make everybody using 2K happy. It's going to keep the game up to date. It makes perfect sense, and I can't wait to see it.
What I think is interesting about this is that, and I'm sure this has been bandied about elsewhere, but the fact that this video game online outlet confirmed that WWE knew that Rhodes was coming back in February kind of just popped out, right? Kind of just kind of like, because every thought I was nuts, and I was like, I think he might come back at the Rumble, and then they are not at the Rumble. Then he's not at the Rumble, but I felt like he was still coming back. That is quite a confirmation there from this video game outlet. And by the way, I know there's some stuff going on in the world right now that's very dark, and I'm sending our best to the people of Texas. But if you could try to stay out of our comment section with that right now, it's very it's distracting. It's very fresh right now. Yeah, would be my only.
Yeah, it is very fresh, and thoughts and prayers to everybody out in Texas. Like you said, I am with you. When I saw this report, the actual Cody Rhodes being added to the game is nothing shocking to me. What popped out to me was like February. What are you talking about here? Which I think I can't recall right now the top of my head when the rumor started that he was coming back, but it was almost immediately as soon as they said he wasn't re-signing with AEW, or he was a free agent, people started speculating. So I would assume that Cody did play the field as far as negotiating for a little while, but that's kind of shocking to me.
I think he just kind of walked across the street and was like, hey, I'm not under contract. How much would you pay me to leave right now? And they were like, we'll pay you a lot of money. And he's like, oh, okay. It's bygones be bygones. Can I play catch with Vince? Because he really, that's a big thing for him. Right. So lastly here in the news block, before we dive into the Hell in a Cell matches and have a talk about that show, the Observer saying the plan as of this past weekend was to have Scorpio Sky or Ethan Page team up with Paige Van Zant to take on Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti in a mixed gender tag team match, which, to the best of my knowledge, have they done any intergender stuff ever in AEW? I don't think they ever have. This would be something different for them, I think, if they did this.
I mean, I watch every week and I can't recall anything off the top of my head. No.
Well, Tony Khan has talked about how he's not a big fan of intergender wrestling. So I think he's intentionally kind of stayed away from it. I mean, I guess you could work it in here. I mean, it definitely seems like there'd be some male-female teams to work with. It's just be new territory. I don't know that Tony's ever presented a match like this.
I want to know why the TNT title is once again not being defended on the pay-per-view. That's my question.
It's a good question, Isa. Why is that? Well, because
it wasn't defended on the last pay-per-view either.
It's because now the Sami and Ty stuff is so hot, right? Like that's the ticket. That's more interesting, I guess, than the actual TNT title.
So involve them in a storyline that doesn't involve the TNT title, and I feel like the TNT title is not as important as it once felt, and we need to get it back to that.
All right. Well, Issa, I want to thank you for whatever it is that we've done here today. I think we did a podcast about wrestling. I think it was mostly a podcast about wrestling. Really tried my absolute best considering everything going haywire here audio wise. I'm gonna figure out what my board is old. I know that. Like I've had this board for several years. It makes me sad to think that today could be the day that, she crapped out. But like that might be, I'm not sure. The microphone, I replaced mic. Seems the mics work. Is it the mic? I have to do detective work now.
Listen, I had one day where everything acted up and I literally almost had a mental breakdown because I couldn't figure out if it was my laptop, if it was my internet, if it was my sound. And it always happens. Like I sit down and get ready like a few minutes before I go live, and it's always after you hit go live that everything goes haywire. It's a part of what we do. It's okay. Good luck buying a new audio board. Let me know what you get. I need one.
This is a really good board. It shouldn't be crapped out. I mean, maybe there's some dirt. I don't know. I'll go down this rabbit hole on my own. Let's dive into the mailbag at weekday. That's the account to follow if you want to vote in our daily polls. Today's poll question. I asked everybody what Hell in a Cell match currently advertised you most excited for. There's only 4 matches currently advertised for next weekend's big show. 76.3% of people see the match they're most excited about is the Hell in a Cell match between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Second place, 11.2%. Belair versus Asuka versus Lynch. Right behind them at just about 10%. Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens. And only 2.6% of people voted for Bobby Lashley versus Omos and MVP. Who are those people? That's what I want to know.
Trolls. It's trolls. There's no way anybody picked that in a serious manner. I'm sorry.
Is this just it currently is just a one-match show, and there's just the cell match. I mean,
I'm so disappointed in Hell in a Cell. Look at it. This is all WrestleMania weekend feuds, right? Because Elias, not Ezekiel, Elias and Kevin Owens started the Raw after Mania. Everything else is WrestleMania rematches, except with the addition of Asuka, which is why the one that I chose in the poll was Becky Lynch, Asuka, and Bianca Belair. I think these 3 women in a triple threat match could really, really give us an excellent match. But in-ring action-wise, it'd be stupid not to pick Cody and Seth because they're going to kill it based on the 2 times that we've seen them face each other.
Yeah. Honestly, what I like about this card is that there aren't a lot of matches, right? The stuff I'm looking at outside of the Lashley Omos MVP match, which would be whatever. I'm excited about the other 3 matches. Like you said, Asuka being included in the women's match, I think that's going to help take that up a notch. Rhodes and Rollins is going to be great inside the cell. And Ezekiel versus Kevin Owens is very, very fun, right? I just like watching those 2 guys work together.
Do you think the SmackDown stars are going to have to buy a ticket to attend this show since they have no presence in it?
They're going to get some stuff nailed down on Friday, I'm hoping. But it is a short build. And it's
what? There's no important feud on SmackDown right now.
Sami Zayn, he's
Sami Zayn, what? Doing what?
The Usos are going to probably get a tag match, right? And Sami Zayn I don't know. Like, whatever's going on with Sami and the bloodline will result in, I hope, some kind of match. I'm not sure.
I hope they have a Blood Brothers pact, like a segment in which they all, become Blood Brothers.
Maybe Sami, after being done dirty by the Usos, go find a new tag team partner, and now he's going up against the Usos, which would be interesting because I guess you'd have to kind of turn Sami baby a little bit, but I think the fans would be for that. I think they would like to maybe cheer for Sami right now.
They'll put him back with Shinsuke.
Sami and Shinsuke?
Yeah,
okay. Probably. Yeah, that makes sense to me. That makes sense.
Yeah, who else? I'm just saying there's not a hot feud on SmackDown right now for me to tell you, you have to put... Okay, Double Clutch in the chat saying Gunther versus Ricochet. Yeah, they've been teasing that. So maybe Gunther will win the IC title.
I don't like the new repackaging of Gunther. He just feels like an Indiana Jones villain. I don't know.
Yeah, Yeah, I don't know anymore.
All right, everybody. Well, we're going to put a pin in it there for today. Once again, this was art that we created today. And I want to thank you all for taking this Picasso in today. Had a lot of fun. And I will be back tomorrow. I'll be joined by comedian Brian Wool. I know it's happening. I'll just say it's happening in the morning. I'm pretty sure the audio will be on the show tomorrow. Teddy Long, back in the house tomorrow. We're going to talk to Teddy Long all about being Teddy Long. And if you have any questions for Teddy, hit me up over on Twitter at Nick_Hausman. Of course, support the Wrestling Inc. Daily on all the podcast pages. Support WrestlingInc.com and all the socials. Come back here tonight after NXT for the Wrestling Inc. podcast with Issa. Issa, what do you want to put over here before we wrap it up?
Come back tonight for the NXT podcast. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, NYC Demon Diva.
Wonderful. I'm at Nick_Hausman. Like I said, thank you all so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you tomorrow. And remember, if you winked, you didn't miss it.